Today I am here to tell you about fasting and autophagy. Fasting, as we all know, is the process of going hungry over an extended period of time, and autophagy literally means eating oneself, to eat oneself, though in a very benign and beneficial manner. We'll look at some of the ways and means of fasting and what are the benefits that it brings to the body. There are 11 possible ways of extending lifespan. Out of these 11, fasting is the only one which has been studied in depth and researched and found to provide help to the body in many different ways. So in this video, we will look at how to fast and what are the benefits that fasting gives to the body. Humans are not new to fasting. Back in the past, we used to fast out of compulsion due to shortage and scarcity of food. Now we do it out of choice. Choice because we understand that fasting helps the body in many different ways. So let's take a small look into how to fast and what benefits fasting brings to the body. Here, when we say fasting, we mean that no energy containing food or drink should have been ingested for the past 8 to 10 hours, preferably 12. When one is fasting, obviously no nutrition is coming into the body. Beyond a certain amount of time, the body senses what's going on and goes into a self-conservation mode, becoming very stingy in extracting nutrients from several storage points in the body. It doesn't know how long this period is going to last. Our DNA from millions of years has matured with experiences of such bouts of hunger of varying periods. So, in its quest to survive for the longest possible time in the best possible manner, it goes into a sort of hibernation mode. The first and most important parameter to get affected is the blood glucose. With no glucose coming in and the muscles consuming their stored glucose for basic movements, the blood glucose starts to drop. The liver senses this and starts to break down its store of glycogen, which is a very complex form of glucose stored in the body. Assuming that you are going to eat in some time, as is usual practice, the liver will initially dump a lot of glucose in the bloodstream. This, of course, is all dependent on what are your current normal glucose levels. Soon, it realizes its mistake and releases the minimum required amounts of glucose. With the drop in glucose levels, the pancreas responds with a corresponding drop in insulin secretion. Instead, it starts to secrete glucagon. Glucagon has the exact opposite roles of insulin. Where insulin requires the liver to stop releasing glucose, rather store it as glycogen, glucagon instructs the liver to stop storing glycogen and release glucose in the bloodstream. Where insulin asks the fat cells to store surplus glucose as fat, glucagon asks the fat cells to break down the stored triglycerides and release fatty acids into the blood for energy generation. Can you see? Already the benefits have started to show up. 1. Glucose levels have dropped. 2. Insulin levels have dropped. 3. Triglyceride levels have dropped. And because fat cells are now releasing fatty acids, weight has started to drop and size has started to drop. Now, LDL is made within the liver. The cells that produce LDL have LDL receptors on their surface, from where they take in the incoming LDL and reprocess and repackage it, then send it out again in the bloodstream. In the fasting state, these receptors are retracted into the cell and the circulating LDL has no way to get into the cell, get regenerated So it has to continue to remain in circulation until it has some cargo in it. So these circulating LDL deliver the fats that they are carrying, and this way the LDL levels start to drop. So that is benefit number 4. When insulin is released in the body, it requires a lot of water and salt to be stored in the spaces between cells. Interstitial spaces is what we call them. With a drop in the insulin levels, the body doesn't need to retain so much fluid and salt. I think you already know that this will bring down the blood pressure levels. So here comes benefit number 5. Just to recap, glucose dropped, insulin dropped, triglycerides dropped, weight dropped, size dropped, cholesterol dropped, and blood pressure dropped. In short, metabolic syndrome, if present, is reversed. With metabolic parameters normalizing, you start to tackle all diseases, including cancer. But wait, there's more. Our body is a super intelligent organism with many processes that are yet to be fully understood or discovered. Over the course of our lifetime, new cells are created and old ones destroyed every day, every moment. This is the general lifespan of different cells of different systems within the body. Deprecated or bad cells are destroyed by a process known as apoptosis, while bad cellular components are destroyed and reused via something known as autophagy, to eat oneself. Think of autophagy as a housekeeping or cleanup process. Studies have shown that autophagy can be greatly induced in response to nutrient stress. In simple words, when you are starving or fasting. Necrosis is the traumatic or death of cells due to external causes. When gene expression in DNA starts to malfunction, it causes faulty protein development. This is the principal cause of serious illness, chronic conditions, or even the simple process of aging. Autophagy plays a role in removing misfolded proteins, damaged organelles. Organelles are smaller components within the cells, as well as eliminating intracellular pathogens. There is a lot of value in that last sentence. So let me repeat it again. Autophagy plays a role in removing misfolded proteins, damaged organelles, as well as eliminating intracellular pathogens. So if fasting induces exaggerated autophagy, it in fact enables the body to remove the faulty equipment inside the cells. Autophagy generates its service staff, which are called autophagosomes, which engulf these faulty components, devour them, and break them up into their base components. So proteins get broken into amino acids and fats get broken into fatty acids. Now, this cleanup process goes one step further and uses these base components to make new stuff that can be used by the body in build-up, repair, or even energy. All because the body realizes that nutrients are not coming in. How better can it get? I don't even need to list the benefits of autophagy, as I wouldn't know where to start and where to end. As is fairly evident, fasting is loaded with benefits, and everybody who can should fast every once in a while, unless there are underlying medical conditions that do not permit you to fast. There are many ways to fast, and I would suggest that you take small baby steps to begin with, and then increase the duration and intensity of your fast as you progress. The easiest form of fasting is to have just 2 meals a day, spread by as much time as you can put between them. But care must be taken not to consume any energy containing foods in between. Then there is the practice known as 5 by 2, which is practiced so commonly in India, that is eating on 5 days, fasting on 2 days of the week. Usually these 2 days are perfectly spread as Tuesdays and Saturdays. Then the practice of religious fasts like Ramadan or the Jain fasts are actually designed to keep us healthy. Probably the religiosity was introduced so that people would follow these rules and gain health. Nowadays, a very common term you may hear is intermittent fasting. As the name suggests, intermittent fasting implies an on-off mechanism. For intermittent fasting to have any meaning, the fast must be at least 12 hours long, because that is the time food takes to get cleared from your intestines. Beyond 12 hours, this provides the intestinal cells some well-deserved rest, and autophagy helps to do the cleaning. Many experts advise intermittent fasting to be done in the 16 by 8 format. This means that you have an 8-hour window only to eat and 16 hours of fasting. This kind of eating restriction, even once a week, will do wonders for your body. Twice a week would be even better. Once you have practiced the art, you can repeat it even more often if you like. When you've mastered the art of 16 by 8 fasting, this 16 hours can then be stretched slowly to a day or beyond. The more serious practitioners of fasting usually go into centers where they can fast for longer periods, and the normal duration is 40 days. Science says that a human can last easily just on water for about 60 days. In some exceptional cases, that number has gone up to even 180 days. When breaking a fast, it is a bad idea to immediately start overeating and binge eating, though your instincts may tell you to do so. Food should be introduced very slowly into the system for the best output and the best results possible. If you're convinced that fasting is the way to good health, now is the time that you should plan your journey into fasting. Headaches, nausea, feelings of vomiting are just your brain trying to throw tantrums and play a spoil sport. If you cross that barrier, fasting can be fun and very easy. Just for your knowledge, I have done a 17-18 hour intermittent fast just today while doing this video. I hope that I have contributed a little bit to your knowledge base today, and I would like or love it if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and share our video to as many people as you can. Thank you so much for your time and patience.